Thank you for having me here today. So my background, I am the Principal Commercial Director at Crown Commercial Service. But importantly for this session, I was, until 6 months ago, the Procurement Operations Director, involved for all procurement activities, so I can put both angles from a procurement perspective, also a commercial agreement and procurement delivering sourcing through the Procurement Act. So, I will just talk you through, forgive me. So, what our CCS, Crown Commercial Service, deliver, facilitate the ability for customers and suppliers to procure common goods and services. We currently have around 100 commercial agreements that facilitate all common goods and services procurement. However, I'll talk a little bit more about Crown Commercial Service. Currently, we deliver to around 21,000 authorities, made up of vast numbers, but over to 11,000 Department for Education. We have 2,000 health. We have 400 emergency services, and the list goes on of customers who use us. We have roughly around 8,000 suppliers on our agreements. On our stall today, number 12, the Crown Commercial Service team will talk you through any aspects of Crown Commercial Service, but in particular our technology agreements. Okay, so 10 years, Crown Commercial Service has been in existence for 10 years. We were formed just over 10 years. We come to 11 years in July of this year. The title is in it, Crown Commercial Service, so we deliver for the public sector. Okay, what is it that we do deliver? So during that period, on an annual basis, there's around £300 billion worth of spend through the public sector, of which we focus on common goods and services, roughly in the region of £140 billion per year. And our agreements are to service our customers and also to have the best suppliers and to work with suppliers. I'm trying to get the clicker to work, I apologise. So, in that period of time, we've grown in terms of our numbers of resources, but also our ability and our support. During the COVID period, Crown Commercial Service really helped and supported the public sector response to assist easy, quick access to procurement, easy, quick access to products for both suppliers and buyers, and we used our agreements to good effect in that space. But as an organisation, we consist of around 844 people. And as I say, we have 100 agreements that you can utilise to access quickly and professionally quality suppliers for our customers. So, transport infrastructure and procurement. As I said, we've got numerous technology agreements. However, we are developing a new agreement, a new technology agreement. The team will talk you through that. Please go and talk to on stall 12 any aspects of it to support us. Our new agreement is due to be launched or awarded in October, and it opens up for suppliers in the spring. It's under the new regulations, which I will come on to, the new procurement regulations, which went live on the 24th of February. So we've done it in collaboration. We have to collaborate with our customers and our suppliers. We have to improve in that space. We have to use the new regulations to put the right agreements in place for all three parties. Particularly, we need to understand how we can drive innovation into our agreements, but also ease of use for our customers, but ease of use for suppliers who are tendering to be on our agreements. So as I say, if you speak to the team, they will talk you through it. We'll also give you ideas on how to save money, tools to save money, tools to get better quality products through our agreement. So please talk to the team, and they will talk you through any aspect of Crown Commercial Service. Okay, so new procurement regulations. So for those that don't know, 24th of February, the new procurement regulations come into act. Crown Commercial Service have been working right throughout the journey of the new regulations with the Cabinet Office, and we've been working really closely with the Cabinet Office to develop them and understand them. As a major provider of procurement for common goods and services, critical that we were involved and have been involved to support our customers and support our buyers, and to make sure our new products are the best and innovative products we can get under those new regulations. Okay, so what do new regulations mean? They went live on the 24th. Currently, any agreement that was awarded under the previous regulations, PCR 2015, are still compliant and will still be used. So we'll be running two lots of agreements. The current agreement, but we will be changing as an organisation every agreement over the course of the next 4 years. As they come to renewal, they will all be renewed under the new procurement regulations. We're actually about, by the end of this month, we will have published our first 4 new agreements out to the market for tendering under the new regulations, and then all further agreements. Our technology agreement, which the team will talk to you about, will be under the new regulations, and we'll be looking to use the innovation, ease of use, the new regulations to best effect, including the National Procurement Policy Statement, to bring that to life, and we would need your help and support with that. We want to engage. We want to make sure that we have the best products for all parties. So, change of regulation will impact all authorities. We have to comply with them as an authority. Our commercial agreements in Crown Commercial Service will allow you to do that. They will be procured compliantly, and they'll be procured with your help and support and that of the suppliers and the best products. Simplified procurement for transport infrastructure in the UK. All our procurements, our aim is to make ease of use, innovation. The new regulations allow us to do that, but we have to think differently. We have to think differently, not in a traditional procurement sense. We have to think about what is required, how we use the regulations, how we use the new flexible approach to the regulations, and work alongside our customers and our suppliers to do that. Increased innovation. So the innovation, in the past, the previous regulations from a Crown Commercial Service perspective have been, we've had feedback from colleagues who are here today about they are restrictive, they block innovation, the process says. The new regulations, it is down to ourselves and it's down to Crown Commercial Service to drive that innovation, to ensure that we are listening to our customers, we are listening and working with suppliers to generate that innovation. I mentioned the flexible approach, so the new flexible agreements, open agreements, allow different courses of action. You can demonstrate and put stages into your procurements when you can change your approach mid-flow in the procurement based on what you are receiving and what you're discussing during the innovation stage. So you can use the flexibility to change tact to get the right outcome, not just this is what we published, this is what you are going to receive. So it gives us that, but we have to be having open conversations to understand that and use them effectively. Okay. How to prepare for the change? We've been preparing for the last 3 years. And I was around when we launched PCR 2015. So we were successful in that space. We've been even more successful this time. We've taken our whole organisation on a journey, so hopefully you can speak effectively on this. So commercial activity, understand your commercial activity, understand your pipeline of activity, understand your procurements, not wait till, if I can say it, the last 3 months, the last 6 months, really understand your pipeline. You understand your pipeline, you can improve the commercial activity, you can improve the innovation and ease of access. Ways of working. Ways of working are actually using the regulations. Using the regulations to full effect. Previously, we haven't always pushed the regulations and used the regulations to benefit us. So change the mindset, the risk appetite amongst your teams as well. It's not just the procurement process says, it's actually how can we use the procurement process to really drive what we want. So you have to have a different change in mindset. Guidance information, there is guidance information through the Cabinet Office. You can search it through all the internet. Crown Commercial Service and our service centre would be happy to offer advice and guidance, as will my colleagues on the stall. Please reach into us. But guidance and information for your teams, guidance and information for your teams, whether you are a buyer or a supplier, on the regulations and understanding them and the boundaries, and particularly the National Procurement Policy Statement. Okay, systems. Colleagues should be aware of the new central digital platform. The new central digital platform by the Cabinet Office to support the regulations for suppliers and buyers to register. There was a significant number when the regulations went live last week of suppliers and buyers registering. That platform will provide transparency. That is really important for the public sector, because from a buyer's perspective, you will know you're buying. From a supplier's perspective, you will be able to identify and see future opportunities. Every buyer and supplier has to put their information through that. We will have the rich data to enable to support and actually develop our agreements more effectively and to buy more effectively. So, but your own systems, please review your own systems. We've redeveloped all our standard operating procedures in line with the new regulations to allow our teams to understand how they procure under the new regulations and get the benefits of them. And then people. All that is magic unless you take your people with you. Your people are the ones who will deliver it. So the training, the capability, the knowledge, the experience, I go back to the risk. Giving people a confidence to push the boundaries, to have that innovation, to test it, to challenge it is really important, because we'll only get out of the new regulations if we put that innovation and that ability for people to push the boundaries, or we'll end up procuring as we've always procured, and we can't do that. We have to procure using the new regulations to get the benefits from the new regulations that the government require and the country requires. Okay, procurement policy at CCS. I will quickly go through this. So, our policies are in line with central Cabinet Office policies. All our agreements fulfil those policies, whether that be through our small medium enterprise agenda, our social value, sustainability. We are pushing the boundaries on them. We are educating our teams in terms of ensuring that our agreements provide all of the policies, comply with all of the policies, and allow you as buyers or as suppliers to demonstrate your skills, but also to buy in a compliant state using the agreements and using the knowledge that we have and what we've built into those agreements. Okay, deepening the value. When I joined Crown, I've been at Crown Commercial Service for 13 years. And before that, I was a member of HMRC. When I joined Crown Commercial Service, the organisation consisted of 350 colleagues and was, we call spend, but commercial benefits is the better target. Our commercial benefits at that point were under £1 billion. Commercial benefits are where a customer uses one of our products and can demonstrate commercial benefits to their organisation. In that 13 years, that's gone from the £1 billion worth of commercial benefits, recycle back into the Treasury, recycle back into us as citizens of the UK, to use effectively. And in the current climate, I'm sure everyone would agree that is absolutely critical. Last year, our commercial benefits were £4.9 billion. And I'll talk about our assisted procurement service for customers in the audience. We offer an assisted procurement service. When a customer wants to procure from one of our agreements, we can undertake that procurement and bring their knowledge to it. We have teams that procure day in and day out. That's they're not once every 3 years, they procure every day. And last year, we had £2.7 billion worth of assisted procurement. That was over 500 procurements for our customers. That is a canter through the procurement regulations. I don't know whether it's good a time or not.
Thank you very much, Colin. Thank you, Colin. Please take a seat in the middle there. Yeah, thank you very much, Colin. That was fantastic introduction to the Act. I'll come across and we'll have a little chat now, and we will also have time for questions as well. So I'm sure there'll be plenty of questions from the audience. First of all, it sounds like a really big deal, the new Procurement Act. Do you think its impact will be felt beyond buyers and beyond specifiers and what have you?
The impact should be felt when used correctly. The impact will be felt to taxpayers and to the public sector in receipt of services. So if we use the regulations effectively, we have the right requirements, we develop the right innovation, we can improve the service that's provided to the end user, we can improve the suppliers and also to our customers what they receive from them. But we have to push the innovation through the agreements, but we have to work collectively both with suppliers and customers in order to do that and use that unique knowledge that's contained across them 3 areas.
Right, I see. I'm just wondering whether you can talk to us a little bit about how it can help the infrastructure sector on its macro goals, such as improving delivery, reducing carbon, those types of things. Can you talk to us a little bit on that, please?
Okay, so the agreements that we're putting in place and the agreements that the team on the stall can talk about, in terms of the green agenda, in terms of social value, we are pushing and at every opportunity to improve the aspects of those agreements to allow us to deliver that and test that. And the suppliers that we have on our commercial agreements, working in collaboration with those suppliers, we want to do that to allow the end user to achieve them goals locally, nationally. But again, it is about open dialogue and discussing with Crown Commercial Service colleagues who are experts in this field, giving advice to customers, but also using the knowledge of our suppliers. We have to do that more. yes, we have to run a compliant procurement, but by engaging effectively with suppliers, we can understand where the markets are and how suppliers see the future.
I see. And talking about thinking specifically about transport, how do the new regulations really support people in the transport industry? Can you talk to us more on that?
I keep going back to innovation, and that's because the flexible approach to the new regulations allows the change in direction during the procurement process. So on major infrastructure programs and projects, the requirement, the ability to change is really important, and the new regulations provide that. So the new regulations, through a staged approach, through engagement right throughout that, can allow you to change from when you start your procurement to when you award compliantly, to make sure you get the right requirements for your infrastructure project.
Okay, all right. I mean, at this stage, I'm really keen for anybody who has a question to jump in, because I don't want to keep talking. Does anybody have a question that they would like to? Yes, sir. The mic's just coming to you. Thank you.
Hi, Colin. Mike Reid from Balfour Beatty. Great to hear the recognition that engagement with the supply chain is really important to help shape good solutions. I'd be interested to know any views as to maybe what we haven't got right in the past. We're seeing a large number of insolvencies across main contractors and supply chains at the moment, and clearly that's something that needs to stop. So what mistakes have we made in the past, and what can we do in the future to help create more sustainable contracted supply side?
There have been mistakes in the past. We could go into them, but that wouldn't be appropriate today. I think what it is about is actually that dialogue, that understanding, the development of the actual requirement, the development of, in old terms, from a CCS perspective, the commercial agreements that are, when they are published, they've been done in collaboration with suppliers and buyers. There's no surprises. They're where we should be looking to move. There isn't any terms in there that have a real negative, oh, we can't do that. When they land, they should be, that's what we were expecting, and that's through early supplier engagement. In my new role in Crown Commercial's in the last 6 months, so I've moved from procurement into the commercial director role. My main drive is engagement with suppliers, to work with suppliers, to understand suppliers, to work with and make sure suppliers are working for, but it is a partnership. Partnership is key. It's not Crown Commercial Service Authority, public sector authority, you will do. It has to be a partnership, and we have to listen to what suppliers are saying. And my main goal in the last 6 months to my teams is understand suppliers, understand what suppliers are doing, understand the markets, work with the suppliers to get the best products out there. I mentioned 100 commercial agreements. I want the Crown Commercial Service agreements to be the best agreements, and I want suppliers to want to be on those agreements, not be on there for a badge, to be on there to serve the public sector. And I want customers to have confidence in the suppliers and the agreement and the process and their ability to use the suppliers and the supply chains effectively.
Thank you, Colin. Any other questions at all? Gentleman over here in the corner, thank you. We are having problems hearing the gentleman in the corner. The mic isn't working. So if you just wait one moment and we'll get another mic to you. Thank you.
Hi. Thanks, Colin. That's a really good introduction to the Procurement Act and various aspects of it. Just on the point about innovation, I can see that you've got the situation whereby you can change effectively path through to the point of procurement. What happens once you've actually bought something? Is there anything there in the agreement whereby through life there is the opportunity to continue to innovate? Because many projects go on for many years, particularly large and complex. I'm just interested to hear your thoughts about what actually happens when things change, when new innovations come along.
I believe that there are opportunities, and we should be able to innovate during the life of the actual contract. There is something I will mention as well that is key, and it sort of follows on from the last question. The regulations, as well as being flexible and more easy, they are also more demanding on performance of suppliers and the debarment list, and managing, ensuring that we are delivering as suppliers effectively on all commissions and the ability to address that. But to go back to your question, the flexible approach and the discussions and the agreement and the ultimate award should build in the flexibility for the contract as well. And that is about the parties discussing that and agreeing it. What I would say is they went live a week ago. The aim is to do that. We will all learn, both suppliers and buyers, as we go through. But if we work in that partnership and have those honest conversations, we should be able to improve during live contracts as well.
Thank you, Colin. Any other questions at all, please? Yes, sir. Gentleman at the front here. The mic is just behind you.
Thanks so much. Thanks, Colin. Yeah, so Jason Marber, Camco Giffen. Colin, you talked about giving people confidence to push the boundaries and link that to risk. How would you see that actually manifesting itself? I think it's a great concept. How would you actually see that coming to life?
Effective leadership. It's leadership and ownership and direction within an organisation. So, the Procurement Act is whether we were under PCL 2015 or whether under the current regulations, it is a legislative, but we have to comply with. However, that doesn't mean that we can't push the boundaries, give people a confidence to push the boundaries. And I go to leadership because I think leadership is really key. It's really key for me. It's really key for me to develop my colleagues in Crown Commercial Service and our customers and suppliers to say, how can we do this better, quicker, faster? How can we improve the end product? How do we do that while remaining compliant, while remaining fair and equitable with treatment? But I think it is always about giving people a confidence and the ability to fail fast and understand and then improve and move forward. And that for me is all about empowerment and working with all the relative teams to do that, not saying the process says no. The process says, what do we want to do? Can we do it?
Thank you. So we can't hear you quite. Do we have another mic? Can we just raise the mic for this gentleman?
So, yeah, I was going to say, it's about balancing risk, isn't it? Because, some of the areas you're about to move into, risk has been pushed right over to the supply side, which obviously then stifles innovation and stifles that kind of pushing the boundaries, as we said. So I think it's a great concept. Let's kind of hope that the proof kind of comes through, yeah?
And we will all learn. We will all learn as we go through. I was around when we launched 2015. I was head of source and operations in Crown Commercial Service then, and it wasn't until 12 months that we really started to get the benefits and understand and push boundaries, but working with suppliers. We have to work with suppliers and explain what we're doing.
Colin, thank you. We have just about run out of time. I hope we've managed to get all your questions in. Colin, Morrow, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's been really enlightening, and I do hope our audience found it very useful too. I'm sure they did. Ladies and gentlemen, Colin Morrow. Thank you.